Fellow School District of Indian River County, this is your Superintendent, Dr. Moore, here with our last Facebook Live prior to the opening of the 23-24 school year. That's right, August 10th, bright and early. The buses will be on the roads, our teachers will be in classrooms, and we're looking forward to greeting all of our students back to what we know is going to be an absolutely outstanding school year. Over the summer, we've been hard at work preparing to make sure when the bell rings, we are in a space to provide quality instruction for each and every single one of your children. So today's intention is to go over some last-minute reminders to make sure that opening day experience is a positive experience. So first, I want to begin by thanking our teachers, our parents, our community for allowing all of our parents the opportunity to attend all of our orientations. During our last Facebook Live, I charged our community and employers with the task of letting our employees go and be part of these orientations. And I can tell you from all the ones that I've attended, there was standing room only. All of our parents had the opportunities to make connections with their son or daughter's teacher. And how powerful it is to have the opportunity to meet the teacher with your son or daughter in the same room prior to the start of school. And as a small town, that's something we all should embrace and just thank all of our teachers for giving their time to make sure that you have that initial first interaction and creating that relationship and creating that partnership. So we have had them all. If you hadn't had the opportunity, we will be having open house as the school year begins. Want to encourage you, if you have not done so already, at our website is our one-stop shop. This has all of the information that you're going to need. You're not going to have to spend hours trying to navigate a website, trying to figure out where something would be. It's right here. So please, I would encourage you to sit with your son or daughter and just go through this so they are feeling comfortable and prepared and ready to start on August 10th. I want to remind of start time. So elementary, these are the same start times as last year, so there are no changes here. These are start times and dismissals. And as I put them up, let me remind you, there still is some construction on the roads, especially if you're a parent of a Storm Grove student. We expect those roads to be open prior to the start of school, but I would plan additional time, especially as we start the school year. So those are our start times. Also, there is high railroad testing going on in our community, and ultimately it's going to move as we move throughout the year. We're going to have trains going through our community at very high rates of speed. So taking the time to talk to your son or daughter if they're crossing a railroad when they walk to school or they're on a bus crossing a railroad, we want to observe all of the signs and signals. We want to make sure that we're taking that extra precaution in order to ensure that we are looking for trains, we are listening for trains, and we want to ensure that we're moving across the appropriate railroad stations at the appropriate spaces. Very, very, very important. We have met with our bus drivers. We have reinforced the importance of making sure that we are looking, we are listening, and we need our students to do the same as we make sure with these new trains running through our community that we are in fact doing it in a safe manner. School information around transportation. As we're putting 84 buses back on the road, it's very important to make sure that you are adhering to the bus safety protocol. So this is just a quick image that lets you know when you are in a two-lane road or a multi-lane paved road in which there's a turn signals in between, you stop on the other side of the road, and you want to stop with enough distance between the bus to allow those students to safely exit. And I would just encourage you to continue to be patient as students enter and exit the bus. They have not been on the roads for about 10 weeks. Plan that extra time so students can not have to worry about any kind of safety issues when it comes to exiting or entering a bus. Also, when it comes to a bus, it's very important to make sure you know where your bus stop is. So you go to our website, it says Find My Bus. You click on that. It will link you right through based on your address as to where that stop would be, the time that it will pick up, and the time that it will drop off. So make sure you check that because the buses will be out and running throughout the day. Some information on our code of conduct. I would strongly encourage all families to sit together and review our code of conduct. There's two updates in our code of conduct. One deals with cell phones. And cell phones, I'll spend a little bit of time here. In elementary and middle schools, once the school day starts, the cell phones are away. We understand the opportunity to ensure that you have access to your children in emergency situations, and we're going to make sure that we work with you and afford those opportunities. But outside of those, the cell phones are away from the beginning of the school year day until the end of the school day, and only out when there is a proved instructional activity that the teacher is doing in which the cell phone would enhance the instruction for those, and that is going to be the rarity. The offenses regarding videoing other people, doing things that may be perceived as bullying or harassing, there are swift punishments for those, so please make sure we use those devices as they are intended, which during the instructional day is only going to be for instructional purposes. There are no other times in which they would be out. In secondary schools, the phones in classrooms, secondary meaning high school, are only to be used in instructional time when approved by the teacher for instructional purposes. There are no other instances in which during the class time that would be used. And once again, just to remind our parents or to remind their students, when you're using that device for something that's not intended to do, where you're harassing or bullying or making fun of others with the technology incorporated within that phone, that ultimately will lead to extremely swift punishments, and that's just something we have a high standard around within our community and ultimately within our schools. Vaping, too, in our secondary schools. I would encourage all parents have those conversations. This is not something we want to see in our schools. We are taking a very strong stance across our entire community and challenge our students when you see or hear someone talking about the experience of or participating in, you challenge your friends to understand the negative impacts that vaping would have on their life, just not short-term, but ultimately long-term. And that's something we all need to commit to as a community. And as we begin this school year, attendance makes all of the difference. If students are not in class, they cannot learn. We will be providing quality instruction every single day. And we will hold true to ensuring that absences are recorded appropriately, and we're getting verification from parents regarding whether it's an excused absence or unexcused absence. And if you go back to our code of conduct, there's very clearly defined reasons to have an excused absence, and please review that and make sure you provide that information, whether it's by cell phone, by calling, or bringing in a letter so we can document the appropriate level of attendance. Excessive unexcused absences may ultimately lead to negative consequences leading up to what could be the withholding of credit. And when one child is absent, it impacts all of the other children that are in that classroom. So if we collectively as a community can hold true to making sure two things. A, quality instruction is taking place. There's a reason to be in school. And B, we're making sure our children are there. We will continue to see the successful results that we've seen over the course of the last several years. Also, the parent rights and responsibilities also on our homepage. That, once again, is another one-stop shop that provides you all the changes in law, all of the requirements that we have to have posted so parents are aware and understand that we function in a very transparent system. I would encourage you to review that document. It has so much information to ensure that you have the knowledge and information to navigate our school system. And then focus. Once again, focus is your opportunity to connect and stay informed regarding where parents or how your children are doing in schools. That's the opportunity to check grades. We're required, each teacher, to enter grades on a weekly basis. So at no point in time should you not have an understanding as to how your son or daughter is doing in each of these classrooms, because you can, on a weekly basis, can get an update on their academic performance within each class. Also, in ClassLink, you have the opportunity to connect to, those are the textbooks that your students will have. So there's two different opportunities. Focus is to check grades. ClassLink is to access Canvas, your textbooks, and your PBSI reward systems. And those are additional opportunities to communicate with your teachers. In elementary school, we use PBIS rewards. That's instant communication with the teachers. In middle schools, we use both Remind and PBS Rewards, and then high school, just Remind. So you can go download those apps, and you will begin to receive communication from your son or daughter's teachers, and it makes it extremely simple in a way in which we're all used to communicating in today's world. Fortify Florida. We need to make sure we all understand what Fortify Florida is, and all of the laptops that we've been checking out over the last several days, that app is on those devices. It is an anonymous reporting system that goes straight to the administration, to the sheriff's deputies that are on schools providing our children with a level of security. Each and every single one is investigated and cleared. It is a system to report things of concern, of possible harm to other students, and you know that support is going to go directly to those who are supervising your children on a daily basis. Very important that our children understand this app is available to them. The IDs, we will update IDs as we go into the new school year, but if you have yours from last year, this is a layer of security. It makes sure we have the right children at the right school, and they're supposed to be there specifically in our secondary schools, as our high schools specifically, making sure we have the right students in the right place. It allows you to access the bus, to get your lunch, library services. It is not only for safety, but provides access and ease in terms of being able to access all of the things that are available to you throughout the school day. On the screen now is our lunch prices. You'll see there's no changes from this time in comparison to last school year. You do have to go and fill out in the first couple days of school the new application process, so you'll see that information on the screen now. Very simple and straightforward process. You do have some time as we transition into the new school year to get that done, but let me encourage you not to wait in order to make sure that we continue to serve food to all of our students. That is our Facebook Live. We have had a great summer preparing. We will be ready to greet our families back on the very first day of school. We anticipate some added traffic in the first couple of days of school, but August 10th, your son or daughter will be greeted with a teacher, and we're going to begin rigorous instruction on day one. So any concerns or issues, always reach out to the teacher, reach out to your principal. We're here to be in service of our students, of our parents, of our community. And we want to make sure that each and every single day your son or daughter gets in the car and they have a great story to tell about the experience they had in the school district of Indian River County. Thank you, and I'll see you in schools.